Hi guys, my name is Hannah Miller. You might know me from Talk Life. I'm a Talk Life buddy and blogger and just a regular member of Talk Life. I'm here to tell you my story, how I came to Talk Life, my story now and my story before, when I was growing up. So pretty much how I came here to be who I am right now. Just a warning, this could be a trigger for some people. So if you're triggered from self-harm, I would turn this off. And I do have some stories about self-harm in this, so just warning. Let's see. I would say that my story started definitely when I was little. As far back as I can remember, I have been sad and I've been depressed since I was a little kid. So it started young. And I think this is because my family and my parents were very neglectful. They were emotionally abusive. Mostly my dad was emotionally abusive to me. Not much hitting, but a lot of just yelling and screaming and calling me bad names and calling my mom bad names and just not a safe household, and not a household where you felt safe to be yourself and to express your own emotions and express your feelings. So everything that I felt just kind of seeped into myself. Everything that who I was seeped into myself. So I had no independence. I mean, I had no dependence on my parents, really. I was independent, and I really, like I said, I came into myself. I was really my own person, but no one could see it. I wrote a lot when I was little. I remember being about 13 or 12 or 13 and writing a bunch on the computer, just typing poetry and typing journals and then deleting them right when I was done. I didn't want anyone else to see. And they were all about the pain I was going through and being alone and being sad. And so it started at a very young age. And as I grew up in high school, it was difficult to even get to school because my dad was driving me to school and we'd argue every single day. We'd fight every single minute of the day that we were together, so every day was ruined pretty much when I went to high school. It was just everything just carried on throughout every day. It was carried on. So I felt like I didn't really have anyone. The only person or thing that I had was really my dog Buddy, who passed away a couple years ago. And he was really my only strength, my only person, or my only thing I could count on as being a constant source of love, really. So high school sucked, as most people would agree. High school was awful. High school was really bad. I didn't self-harm in high school. I didn't drink. I didn't smoke. I didn't do anything like that. But what I did do is internalize everything that went on in my house. I didn't know what to do with it. The only thing I had was sports, and I played basketball throughout high school. And that was my main source of outlet, my main outlet source. And I thank God I had that. If I didn't have that, I don't know where I'd be right now. But so that was high school. So my parents split up finally when I was 18. Of course, when I turned 18, they split up. And I thought, this is it, I'm going to be happy. Well, they split up, and as soon as they split up, I had my first panic attack. And that was because they were fighting in the house, and I had my first panic attack. And I just remember my dad saying, stop crying, like, why are you crying? And I was on the floor curled up in a ball, felt like I was dying. If you ever have a panic attack, you would know what that feels like. So that was awful. And that was about a couple days before my first orientation of college. And on my orientation of college, I came home afterwards and all my dad's stuff was gone. And he didn't say goodbye. He didn't do anything, really. And since that day, I haven't seen him in 5 years. So he left, and I haven't seen him in 5 years. And I'm not really too sad about it. Not really bitter, and not really upset about not seeing him, honestly. It's a good thing. He's a toxic piece in my life that I'm glad is now taken out. So I started college, and I played basketball for my school, and it got to be too hard, so I stopped playing basketball. And then after I stopped playing basketball, I had a lot of free time, and I noticed that the sadness had not gone away. I honestly never felt happiness in my life, and I still really haven't found that. But I noticed it when I was in college, my freshman year. So I started having more and more panic attacks. It was really sad. No self-harm yet. But so that was my freshman year. My sophomore year, my dog died. And that's when I really, my best friend, Buddy, my dog died, and I really questioned my own existence. My faith in God is out the window. It still is to this day because of that event. So he passed away, and my depression really skyrocketed or spiraled down, however you'd say. It got really bad. I went to therapy, the school therapy, which is free, and it didn't really work for me. It didn't really help me. I felt rushed. I felt like they just wanted to, solve my problems and move on to the next kid. So I went to the doctor and told him, I feel like crap all the time. I barely want to get out of bed, and I've having panic attacks, and it's been like this for a while. So they told me to see a therapist. I saw a therapist. He told me to get on meds and see a doctor. I went on meds and saw a doctor. Doctor told me to see a psychiatrist. I saw a psychiatrist, and he put me on more meds. So I went through, in about 2 years, I went through, I would say 8 different antidepressants and only one anxiety med that works for me, which is good. But from the last year, so that was sophomore year, and now I'm a senior. I'm a super senior. I'm a 5th year in college. And so this past year has been all about self-harm. And I have scars. I don't know if you can't see them, but I have scars on my arms. I have scars on my legs from burning myself. I punch a lot. I punch walls, and it's all to externalize the pain that I have. And I still do it. I honestly still do it. And where I'm at now is trying to keep taking my meds, and that has become important, really important, and it should be for everyone if you're on meds to keep taking them. Don't skip a day, because that's what I do, and then the next day I feel like crap, and I want to punch a wall because I skip my meds, and it feels like crap. So that's where I'm at now, is really just trying to understand what happened to me and why I took it so bad and why I took it so hard and why I'm taking it so hard off on myself. Why am I hurting myself? Why am I cutting and scraping and carving and punching and burning myself? I didn't do anything wrong. It's not my fault. So it's really hard for me to realize that right now, and I think the turning point in my story was really when my dog died. This is kind of a long video, I'm sorry. I don't know if you're bored, probably bored. But the main thing in my story is that it's started at a very young age, and I'm sure it started many of you at a very young age. And I was diagnosed with panic disorder and, of course, depression when I was almost 19. And that's pretty old, I feel like, for being diagnosed with that. Most of you probably have been diagnosed with that at 13 or 12 or 14 or 15, and I started pretty late. So I went through a lot before I really actually knew what was going on with me and had a reason or a tangible thing I can say, yes, I have this. So it took a while, and it took 22 years to me sitting here now, being able to express myself in a video that many people are going to watch. And it's scary, but I mean, we all have stories. We all have life behind us and ahead of us. And it's our choice to share them or not. And I think that sharing what happened to me and sharing what I've been through and what I'm still going through can relate to many, many people of Talk Life, many people around the world, honestly. And I know for a fact that I'm not the only one out there with daddy issues or self-harm issues, body image issues, all that crappy stuff. I'm not the only one, and that makes me feel better, that I can talk to other people about it. I have friends like Danielle and Sarah that I always talk to about my scars and how, insecure I am about them and things like that, where I know they understand. And so to me, Talk Life is really about other people understanding my story. And most people don't know my entire story, but that's pretty much my entire story. Yeah. That was a lot to get off my chest, but it's been 12 minutes, so I think I'm going to end the video right now and just say thanks for watching. Thanks for listening if you did. Might have been boring, but my name is Hannah Miller, and that is my story. And thank you, Talk Life, for allowing me to share my story. And I'll be okay. And you guys help a lot, so thank you. I'll see you later.